All right, so great news. I got my first question. Miley's asking if I'm not happy in my current arrangement and relationship, what steps do I need to take to buy my first home? So that's a great question because also relevant really because this is my first video in what I'm hoping will be a steady stream of information videos moving forward. So as a first-time home buyer and somebody that's looking to make a purchase in general, it's really important that you understand your financial situation, and that comes down to speaking with the relevant professionals. I encourage people to seek out the advice of a trusted mortgage broker or your banker. Whoever you have a strong relationship with works best. I am partial to my relationships with my mortgage broker because I get a really high level of service for myself and my clients, and they get things done with a whole host and an abundance of choices to best suit my situation or my buyer's situation. So I find that mortgage brokers can typically provide a wider range of products that might fit my situation at the time. And that can change depending on what kind of deal you're doing. If you're flipping or investing, or you're buying, a house for yourself, it all kind of changes. So it's really important to get perspective with all of the rules that have changed so frequently in our Canadian environment with respect to financing. You need to know where you stand in the eyes of what the bank will want. So the first step is to reach out, and you're going to have to provide some basic information to your financial provider so that they can run some numbers in what they call the debt service ratio. And essentially that's how much money you bring in with your income versus your expected expenses in terms of carrying loans, any outstanding debts. It also is relevant to how much cash you might have. So they're going to look at your ability to fund the deal and put a down payment into the purchase, and find out if the ratios based on your income will allow for the purchase price, expected purchase price on the property that you might be looking at moving forward. So that's really your first point of business, and it really just takes a few minutes to gather up some information like your T4 or your tax return. Things get a little bit more involved if you're a business owner and you have your own business. There's a little more strict criteria, a little more information you have to provide to get qualified. But getting pre-approval is really important, so you're not wasting your time looking at properties, online, and maybe you're in the wrong price points, or you've even gone so far to start working with a realtor and asking questions. So that's number one. The second thing you want to do is make sure that you have a good sense of an area that's going to fit with your lifestyle, and there's all kinds of little questions you can ask yourself to what might be the best fit. And the third thing would be to figure out exactly what you're looking for in a home. Like, do you need more storage? Do you need a flat level yard? Do you want to put a pool in? Do you need paved driveway? Is this something that you want to maybe potentially put a little bit of elbow grease into and try to force some equity and some appreciation to make some money over time? So it's nice to speak with a realtor to help you follow and process those thoughts into materializing a final product and kind of search criteria of what you're specifically looking for. But those would be the first steps in making a purchase that you want to make, and then getting yourself set up with an online search to meet the criteria, and of course then narrowing it down and going and checking out these homes, because what you're going to find is that what you look at online is totally different in person 80% of the time. So pictures don't always give you the full perspective. Video can help a little bit more. So I tend to shoot a lot of video on my listings to give buyers a little more perspective on the layout. But you really need to get there in person, because you just don't know what's next door that didn't make it into the picture or the video, or maybe the grade of the driveway, the lay of the land, and of course a whole lot of other interesting things that pop up. So you really do have to put the feet to the pavement to go through homes and get a sense of what you think will help you decide what is the best fit. And the process is interesting. You know, it's often when you start, you don't end up with what you expected you would at the beginning, because you kind of mold and shape your idea of what is a great fit. So those are the first steps to take, and I think on the next video I'll explain a little bit about the process of actually making a purchase agreement. Thanks for tuning in.